We're going to go into our trips checks and tight alignment. And we have two different coverages that we're going to use for trips. The first one is called poach. Here's the alignment. The corner is going to be outside number one at 4 yards. The SAM is going to be inside number two on the line of scrimmage. As we talked about in our alignment videos, our Mike is going to apex the number three and the end man on the line of scrimmage. Our Will is going to be in a 0-0 tech, basically just behind the nose, who is head up on the center. And then our Zeke is going to be in a 50 tech at 4 yards. Um, our corner is going to be inside number one on the line of scrimmage. And then our Spartan is going to be inside number three. That's right here at 8 yards. And then our Bandit is going to be right behind the Will at 8 yards as well. Okay. So in poach, we'll start with the backside. Okay. Corner, you're one-on-one out here with this Z, and you just have to win. Okay. You're just gonna meg the number one. Whatever this Z does, you cover. Okay. We're gonna use bump and run or a jam technique, and we're gonna try and take away the inside route tree and force a fade or force something to the outside route tree. Okay. Okay, let's come over to this side of the field. Um, if number three goes vertical, okay, then this bandit is going to come and take number three vertical. Okay. Now, ideally, if number three goes vertical, the whole reason why this mic is over here apex is because we want to reroute number three, make him run the hump. Okay. And then wherever he goes, the bandit's just going to go take him. All right. Uh, so that takes care of number three vertical. If number three does not go vertical, all right, number three does something like this, okay, you are now free to rob. All right. So you are just going to play middle of the field. You can come out and help the corner on this Z. You can look for crossing routes of the number two or the X or the number one. Okay. You are a true robber. You're free. So just go find work. Okay. And like I said, it could be, we'll probably just game plan it, but you are just robbing at this point. All right. All right. So if the number three does come underneath, we're just going to follow our normal rules. Okay. We're going to reroute crossers. We're going to cover to the edge of our zones and then deliver to the next linebacker. Okay. I think that's simple enough. Okay, so let's talk about this number one and number two. We're just going to play read two here, okay, with the Spartan um, and the corner, okay? So they're just going to read two and go through those same palms rules, okay? So just to review here, if the landmark is still 5 yards, if the H goes vertical, the Sam goes here to cover the H, the corner covers the X. All right. If the H breaks outside, the corner is going to come here. Spartan's going to go cover the X. Okay. And then finally, if this H breaks inside, Spartan's going to take, corner's going to be on number one. And then our same rules apply if he's going to run this drag route. Okay. We're going to run the hump. We're going to run the hump and deliver. We're going to run the hump and deliver. All right. Okay, let's talk about the linebackers here. Uh, Sam, the whole reason that you are on the line of scrimmage is you're going to jam number two immediately. Okay, so you're just going to get an immediate reroute, and then you're just in the flat. Okay, why are you in the flat? Because what teams love to run is this action. Okay, and you're just going to be here to stop that. All right. So any sort of bubble, any sort of like flat route, you're just going to take that. Okay. Again, the mic, you're just in the hook to curl, and you're rerouting number three. Especially if number three goes vertical, you got to get hands on him. Okay. Uh, Will, you are also hooked to curl, but you have to mod A. All right. Same thing that we talked about. Okay. This is similar to funneling. All right. So Zeke, you're just going to go out here to the flat. Okay. You are going to match A's route out of the backfield. Okay. So if we get some sort of like, Texas route right here, you're just going to come, you're going to come match that route. Okay. Similarly, if we get, I don't know. Oh, sorry about that. If we get some sort of vertical route here by the A, and notice how I said it's mod, right? So remember in mod, we're using that 5 yard landmark. So you're going to match this at the top of yours, or you're going to stack the A route at the top of its zone. Okay. And then once it crosses 5 yards, then it's yours. Okay. So if we get some sort of wheel route here or rail route, the Zeke's going to be out here. We're going to get a reroute, hopefully. Okay. Make him run the hump. And you're going to match this. And once it passes 5 yards, now you guys are both just man to man. Okay. The most important thing about this coverage is this bandit right here. You are poaching number three vertical. Okay. So if number three goes vertical, all right, hopefully we're going to get a reroute here. And then you got to come cover that three. And then on this number one and number two, we're just running our normal palms. And we have the Sam out here in the flat. Okay. Now remember, same rules apply to the number two as well. All right. So let's say that we get some sort of, I don't know, some sort of drag route here, right? What do you do when the number two goes in? You pass that off to the linebackers, and now you're just free. Okay. Same thing as palms. So we normally fox the posts, but that's not really, we don't do that in trips because it's not realistic to look to the backside. So you're just going to come here and play zone. Read the eyes of the quarterback and make a play. All right, so that is poach, guys. This is probably going to be the most common that we run. Um, our next is called mask. Okay. Now, mask is a true split field coverage. Okay. What that means is we're going to run palms to the left and we're going to run bracket to the right. Okay. So let's start just with the backside. Okay. Again, corner, you're going to align inside number one on line of scrimmage. You're going to meg the number one. You're going to get a bump and run, and you're just going to try and force the outside route tree. Okay. You want to take away that inside route tree. What does bracket mean? Bracket's up here. It means we're going to double the number one. Okay. So you're just going to come in here. Wherever that number one goes, we're just going to double him. Okay. Okay. So why would we run mask instead of poach? We would run mask instead of poach if we're worried about speed option or quarterback power. Okay, so if they run quarterback power to this side, okay, if you notice, you can come up and make that tackle. When we're in poach, remember the bend is way over here. Okay. And so we're worried about that backside run. Another reason we would run mask instead of poach is if this Z is really good. Okay. If this Z is really good, then we want to double. We want to truly bracket him. Okay. All right. So that's the backside. Let's go to the front side. On the front side, okay, the corner is going to meg number one, inside number one on the line of scrimmage. Okay. We're going to get a strong bump and run or a jam, and we're going to try and force a nine or anything on the outside of the route tree. Okay, we want to try and take away anything to the inside of the route tree. Okay, so that takes care of number one, easy enough. Now we just have to worry about number two and number three, and we're going to play palms. Okay, we're just going to read this number three just like palms. All right, so what does that mean? We can go back to our rules. This is the landmark. It's 5 yards. If number three goes vertical, then the Spartan's going to take number three. Okay, we still expect to get a reroute here. All right. If the Spartan takes number three, then that means the Sam is taking number two. Okay. If number three goes out, that might look like this. That might look like this. Okay. Now the Spartan is going to take number three. All right. And then I'm sorry. The Sam is going to take number three. And the Spartan's going to take number two. Easy enough. Okay. And again, if this Y goes in, breaks inside, Spartan's going to break inside. We're hoping we can get a reroute here. Okay. And then the Sam just takes number two. And then finally, as is our custom, okay, let's say that this guy breaks inside. All right. Sam, you're going to have this number two. All right. Hopefully, we're going to get some reroutes here. Okay. We're going to cover to the edge, deliver, get back to our hook to zone. Reroute, cover to the edge, deliver, get back to our hook curl. All right. And then you are just free. Okay. So you're free to double the number one or the number two. So you're just going to float out here somewhere. You're going to read the quarterback's eyes. Okay. Go make a play. Okay. Let's talk about the linebackers. Okay. Uh, Same thing here with the Will or with the Zeke. Okay. You're going to be in the flat. And then the Will, you're gonna match number two. Okay. Same as mod. Okay. I shouldn't have used different language. I apologize for that. So you're hooked to curl zone. All right. But if the number two comes out here, you are going to match number two. You're going to mod number two. Anything over 5 yards, you're going to go take. All right. Simple enough here, guys. And those are our two trips coverages.